This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On Air.
Welcome to 5 Continents in 50 Minutes, a podcast series based on the continents of the world as symbolised by the 5 Olympic rings. I'm that blind woman, Julie Woods, and alongside me is my husband and artist, Ron Esplin. Hello, Ron.
Merhaba, baby.
And together we are going to cover the facts, figures and favourites of this continent in 5 10-minute podcasts. This is podcast 2 and continent 2 is Africa. Ron, what is the illustration you have painted for Africa, please?
Well, it was a wonderful visit to the pyramids and the Sphinx. Although I've been there before, it was a wonderful opportunity to listen to Omar Sharif with his wonderful actor's tones telling us all about the history of those 2 iconic monuments.
What else can you tell us about Africa?
Well, the population is 1.4 billion and is growing rapidly with a diverse population. The youngest population it is amongst the continents, and a large proportion of its population are under 15 years of age. Number of countries are in it, 54 countries, and the largest one is Algeria. Nigeria has 242 million people, and there are 144 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Africa. The languages, well, 2,000 languages, mainly Arabic and Swahili. The famous landmarks, of course, I've mentioned, the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. They're seen from Cairo, and it's so exciting to go there because they're isolated in the sand. Julie, you remember some of those places?
Certainly do. What are the countries we've been to in Africa, Ron?
Well, we went to Egypt and South Africa.
No, we've only gone to Egypt.
I've been to South Africa.
Yeah, that's right. That's quite all right. We've only got Egypt represents Africa in this podcast, everybody. So we can ask you what your favourite country was in Africa, Ron.
Oh, okay. My favourite country in Africa was Egypt, of course.
Exactly.
What else?
Exactly. Me too. I think it was very cool. As I said before, I was surprised that Jordan, which borders Egypt, was not part of Africa. It was indeed part of Asia. What was the best meal you had in Africa, Ron?
Well, I'm not normally keen on pizza, but I did have a wonderful pizza before we visited the Temple of Philae. That would be notable. And
for me, my best meal was the first day we were in Cairo. We went to the pyramids and did all the attractions in the daytime. We didn't actually get any lunch, so by the time it came to tea time, we were very hungry, and we found this restaurant bar which had a football match going on, and there were lots of men cheering and clapping for the football, and we had this meal of grilled mutton and rice wrapped in vine leaves, and it was quite delicious. What about the worst meal?
Oh, well, I must say, we love our bread in this part of the world, but when you go to Egypt, there's something about the bread that doesn't quite make it. It tends to be rather like cake more than a slice of bread. And it doesn't toast all that well either. So we're prepared to put up with those vicissitudes of Egyptian life.
I had in one of my sensory diary entries for taste was strange pancakes. And I can't remember why they're strange, but they're the same but very different. And it's quite hard when it's such an important meal of the day to get right. And for me, that is one of the hardest things about travelling to some of these places. What about the best drink in Egypt? Of course, they're a Muslim country, yes. So alcohol is not prevalent.
Yes, well, that's what they say. But Kakadai tea is what you're always offered when you go to a shop. They sit you down, give you some Kakadai tea, and there's no escape until they've done with you.
Until you've bought something. I've got down Coca-Cola.
Oh, really?
Because that's my memory of, I think we went to Pizza Hut in Cairo and we got a Coca-Cola there. Yeah. What do you think is Egypt's best kept secret or Africa's best kept secret?
Well, Abu Simbel, without a doubt.
Which is what?
It's an ancient ruin, but in fact it had to be moved when the Aswan Dam went in. And they moved a number of monuments at that time. And it was an extraordinary and huge, I think it was helped by UNESCO. And they moved a whole lot of amazing monuments and famous sites in Egypt in order for the public to see them.
My best kept secret would be the Valley of the Kings, which is the place where they bury or rest all their kings or pharaohs, and the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, so that is where the cemeteries and people are buried, in the west. And it's interesting. It's very hard to explain. It's like a series of tunnels that you go down, and they have engravings on the wall to depict the kings or pharaohs that have died, and then there is the sarcophagus at the bottom, so you wander down in single file and then go past the sarcophagus and come back up. It's, just something totally different to the way that we bury our people in New Zealand.
Mind you, they've been dug up. They were hidden away for centuries, and they had to be rediscovered.
Well, that's true. And of course, the status in the afterlife is very important to the Egyptians, so it's very critical that they're seen by the gods as important people, which is why they have all these elaborate burial places. What was your magic moment in Africa, Ron?
Well, I think one of the most magic moments was going in a boat because the Philae temple is actually only you're only able to get there by boat, and it's a romantic way of going there. You and I were in the same boat, and then we arrived at the Philae temple, and as soon as we arrived, a cat came and jumped up on top of a concrete bollard which was in front of you, and of course Omar Sharif started his story. And then when he finished that particular section, the cat knew the thing so well, he just hopped off and away he went to the next location.
The next meeting point. That's a smart cat. My magic moment is sitting on the pyramids that felt like 2-ton Lego blocks. And every day I'm away, I keep a sensory diary of one thing I smell, hear, taste and touch. And that was my diary entry for that day. Just being there, sitting on those pyramids, being allowed to sit on them is pretty astonishing when you think about it. Just a magnificent thing to do. And often people ask me what my favourite country that I visited is, and I will often say Egypt. Yeah. It's a magnificent place and part of the world. Any other Egyptian memories?
Well, many, and thank you very much, Egypt, for all those memories. A wonderful country.
I know you wanted to go to the Colossus of Memnon.
Mm-hmm. And we did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was something you knew as a child?
Well, I had the Archimedes Encyclopedia, had photographs of those. Of course, there were no people in the picture. So I had no idea of the real size, and Colossus must be big. But they weren't actually as big as I thought they were going to be. But I'm pleased I've been there.
Or maybe you aren't. You've been listening to 5 Continents in 50 Minutes with that blind woman, Julie Woods, and Ron Esplin. If you'd like to contact me, that's Julie, you can do so on julie@thatblindwoman.co.nz or Ron on ronesplinartist@gmail.com. You've been listening to podcast 2 of 5. We look forward to you joining us for podcast 3, and thank you, Ron, for joining me here today.
Merhaba Habibi.
Merhaba Habibi. Hello, my friend. Shukran. Thank you. Goodbye. I'm that blind woman, Julie Woods, proud sponsor of Around the World in 80 Minutes. After going blind in 1997, I said why not so many times. I am now a professional speaker, author, advocate and coach. If you're looking for someone to help you or your team turn your no into why not, then why not send me an email to julie@thatblindwoman.co.nz or phone or call me on 021 913 513. Why not?
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.